Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I refurbish this Game Boy Advance into this. So I've recently got this Game Boy Advance from Carousell, cost about $15. Comes with a game, Super Mario Kart. Contacts are pretty clean except for the screen burn, nothing else seems to be an issue. Let's put on 2 flash battery to see if it's still working. Let's put on the cartridge. Despite the corrosion on the battery contacts, it powers up. You will need to replace the screen polarizer on this. The sound is loud, but it can be louder if you clean the speaker with some isopropyl alcohol. Here we are in AliExpress, so we're going to search for the polarizing filter. There's 2 types of polarizing filter, a circular one and a linear one. For the Game Boy Advance, it uses a circular polarizer. So do remember to purchase the right one. So here is $14.99 for 20 pieces. Next we will search for a new housing. There's this Venusaur one which I've been eyeing for quite a while. Let's place order for this item.
1 week later.
So it has been 9 days since we placed the order. All the items are in. Using the tri-wing screwdriver, we're going to open up 6 tri-wing security screws. There's a 7 screw. This one uses a Phillips head screw, so use a Phillips head screwdriver to remove this screw. Gently lift up the back casing. Look at how dirty the back casing is. Next, remove these 2 side covers. The board is dirty and there's some corrosion, so we use isopropyl alcohol to clean up all the contacts and the board. Drip some isopropyl alcohol into the power switch. This will help with the connection. The board is being held down by 3 Phillips head screws. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to remove the screws. Do organize these screws so you know where it belongs to. Next, we remove the screen. There's 2 tabs on the left and the right. Remove this tab and gently lift up the ribbon cable. Next, we lift up the motherboard. On the other side is still dirty and there's some corrosion, so we use isopropyl alcohol and a cotton bud to go through all the contacts and connection again. The speaker is dusty and dirty, so we use isopropyl alcohol to clean up the speaker. This will make the speaker louder. Next, we remove the screen using the ice cube tray method. So we're going to bend the shell slightly to remove the screen. If you have a metal tool like this, it will help as well. Be gentle with the screen. So if you can see here, the polarizer filter is completely burnt. So using a craft knife, we will slowly remove the burnt polarizing filter. Take your time and be gentle not to scratch the screen. Once you get the corner, slowly peel off the polarizing filter. This can be so satisfying. It can be a little bit tough, so use a little bit of strength and pull off the polarizing filter. There are some glue residue left behind, so using a cotton bud isopropyl alcohol, take your time to remove the screen residue. Next, we will attach the screen onto the motherboard so we can test the screen. Push the ribbon cable all the way in and make sure you tap in the left and the right tab. Flip back the screen and attach the back cover so we can use the battery to power up the screen. Do remember to align the screen properly. Put on 2 batteries and let's test the polarizing filter on the screen. The image is dark because the polarizing filter is inverted. Flip it and try it again. This time around we got the right orientation, so we're going to cut the polarizing filter and apply it. Using the old polarizer as a template, we're going to cut the new polarizing filter. Peel off the sticker and apply the polarizing filter. Make sure there's no air bubbles. Do take your time to apply the filter. Next, we will install the new Venusaur housing. So this is what the set comes with. Back casing with the RF shield, back cover and new battery contacts. The front housing with the left and right trigger, the left and right brackets, a new set of buttons, new button contacts padding, and a new screen protector. This is plastic. And of course the 2 screwdriver, the tri-wing screwdriver and the Phillips head screwdriver. We will start by putting all the buttons in the right place. The plastic is a bit soft compared to the original housing. We will attach the screen sticker and we will drop in the screen. Press slightly and make sure the screen sticks onto the housing. Next, we will put the motherboard in. Align the switch button. Next, we will attach the screen, put in the ribbon cable all the way in. Make sure you press the tab on the left and the right to secure it. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, we will screw in the 3 screws that is holding on to the motherboard. I prefer using the old screw as compared to the one provided by the kit, as the quality is so much better. Next, we will attach the right and left bracket. Gently put on the back cover. Attach the trigger button. Let's screw everything in. Here, we use a Phillips head screw to screw in. Next, we will screw in the 3 tri-wing security screws. Again, I prefer to use the old screw as the screw is so much better as compared to the screw that was provided by the kit. The original screw are self-tapping screws, so it helps by going anti-clockwise before you going clockwise to secure the screw in. Next, we will attach the back model sticker. Take your time and paste it nicely. This is so satisfying. Let's put on the back cover. One last step before we put in the screen protector. Here I'm using a glass cleaner to clean the screen. Give it a good wipe to remove all the dirt and dust. It's time to apply the screen protector lens. Align it up nicely and paste it down. Let's peel off the screen protective plastic. And finally, spray in the glass cleaner and give it a good wipe. It really does look like a completely new Game Boy Advance. Let's put on the battery and let's give it a go. The Game Boy Advance was released in 2001, making it 19 years old. The Game Boy Advance is part of the 6th generation video game console. Let's turn it on. Here I have Pokemon Sapphire, which was released in 2002, making it 18 years old. The sound from the speaker is loud. Cleaning the contacts and cleaning the speaker with isopropyl alcohol does help improving the sound. This is the 1st generation Game Boy Advance and the predecessor of the Game Boy and Game Boy Color. Everything seems to be working, the screen looks good, the buttons are working, restoration success.
Epilogue.
This is the Game Boy Advance that we have been working on. Okay, the screen looks perfect, the speaker is loud, and the shell looks so beautiful. Kinda look as if it's a new Game Boy Advance. Overall, I'm very satisfied and happy with the restoration. The Game Boy Advance is actually one of my favorite gaming console because it has a wide library of games to choose from. It can play Game Boy Advance game, it can play Game Boy and Game Boy Color cartridges. Some modification that I might want to do in the future is to upgrade the screen. Currently it's on the AGB001, which is okay if you're playing under light, but if you're going to play it at night, you definitely need a better screen. So I'm going to upgrade this to probably an IPS screen or an AGS101 screen. So the next modification that we will do is probably the battery mod. So instead of running on 2 AA batteries, okay, we will actually do a battery mod so that we can actually run it lithium battery on the Game Boy Advance. So here's the breakdown for the total cost of the project. So the Game Boy Advance is $15, the polarizing filter is $1, the Venusaur housing, okay, cost $12, bringing the total cost to $28. $28, which is definitely cheaper than buying a used Game Boy Advance in the market today. So if you have stayed this far in the video, do consider subscribing to the channel as it will help the channel grow. I post new video every Saturday and Tuesday. I hope you find this video entertaining and useful at the same time. Do join me in my live tweet session every Friday, Saturday and Sunday after 9 PM, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and stay safe everybody.